Hey everyone, so the first thing I'm doing as always is prepping the eye area. I'm using the Essence base today because it's tinted so it'll cover any discoloration as well as prime the eye for the shadows that are to come. I'm using a brush to apply as opposed to directly from the applicator because that way I'm less likely to over apply the product. After my last tutorial with the Soph palette, I was asked to use some of the lighter, brighter shades on the right hand side of the palette, and that's what I'm doing today. So I'm beginning with this shade called Cuppa Tea, and I'm picking it up on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just adding it into the crease. So I'm starting on the outer corner of my eye, just in the crease, so halfway between my lash line and my brow bone, and I'm just sweeping the colour back and forth to blend it out. Then I'm picking up some more of the shadow and going back in once again, building up that intensity, and I'm using circular motions now to really buff that out. When it comes to the outer corner, I'm making sure to flick my brush upwards to blend the shadow out at an angle towards the brow bone. Next, I'm taking this lovely light orange. It has shimmer running throughout it, and that's why I didn't use this solely in the crease. I used that matte shade first, and this is just because I'll have shimmer and glitter on the lid, and I wanted a break in the textures. So I'm carefully adding this shadow in the crease, making sure not to blend it up as high as the previous shade, and as you can see, it just brings a lovely warmth to the look. Now for the lower lash line, I'm switching to a small bullet shaped brush, and I'm firstly sweeping that Cuppa Tea shade down along there. Once I've got that in place, I'm then repeating the pattern above and applying that shimmery orange shade next. Next then, I'm going in with the shade Strawberry Sweets, and I'm adding this down on the outer corner of the eye, so outer third of the eyelid. Then I'm going to blend it across into the crease, and I'm staying quite deep in the crease because I want those two previous shades to still be seen. Like before, every time I hit that outer corner, I'm sweeping the eyeshadow upwards and outwards at an angle, and this just helps to elongate the eyes. As you know, I've got blue eyes, and they're really popping with these warm orangey tones. At the moment, the look is quite bright and vibrant, but I'm going to tone it down now with some brown. I know a lot of people aren't really comfortable wearing a lot of colour, others are. I'm adding the brown now on the outer corner of my eye and up into the crease, mainly keeping it on the outer portion of the eye though. If you want the look to stay nice and bright, only apply a touch of the brown. If you want to deepen the look more, then apply some more brown. I'm going to deepen up the look quite a bit. I just want to have a hint of the warm tones in the finished look. But then once I'm happy with the intensity and blend of the brown, I'm going to move on to the lid area. And as you can see, even though I've layered quite a dark shade, I do still have a bit of vibrancy. So I'm using the Infallible concealer now, and I'm just adding a few swipes of this over my eyelid, halfway across the lid, and then I'm taking a flat C-shaped brush, and I'm using the shape of the brush to my advantage. I'm just tapping over the concealer, and the shape of the brush will kind of carve out the shape of my eyelid for me. The brush is curved, my eye curves in the same way, so it works out. Now I'm adding that gold shade over the top of the concealer. It was pretty much the only reason I applied the concealer, because I knew I'd be adding a lighter shade to the lid area, and I'd gotten some of the brown on that portion of the lid when I was blending, so I wanted a nice blank canvas there again. I'm using a smaller brush now. I'm going in with a bit more of that brown and wriggling into the crease just to make sure the area is nice and matte and brown. Sometimes the metallic shimmery shades can slightly transfer, so if that happens you can kind of clean up with your matte. Now I'm taking the black and I'm using a small pencil brush to add this to the outer corner of my eye. I'm using the shape of the brush to apply the product, so lying it flat on the lid and patting the shadow in place. As you can see, I'm applying it at an angle towards the outer portion of the eye. So once I've applied the shadow, then I'm using the tip of the brush and I'm using little sweeping motions to blend that shadow in with the colours that are already on the lid. When it comes to the crease, I'm just going back in with my fluffy blending brush, this time with no product on it. I'm using what's left on the brush to fade the black out, using small circular motions over the edge of the black to fade it into the crease. To add a bit more sparkle to the lid, I'm using the Collection Glam Crystals liner. If you want to apply some glitter but don't want the fuss or mess of a loose glitter, opt for something like this. It's so handy, you literally just brush it on. I'll be applying some lashes, so I'm just using an angled brush with some more of that black eyeshadow, and I'm patting it along the lash line to help conceal the band of the lashes later on. For the lower lash line, I'm patting some brown on with my angled brush and then blending the brown out with my bullet shaped brush, and I'm repeating that process then with the black eyeshadow. For the waterline, I'm using the Wet n Wild Colour Icon Eye Pencil, and I went for a brown today, and I'm just running that pencil back and forward in my waterline. To set the liner in place then, and to intensify it slightly, I'm just patting some of that warm brown eyeshadow from the palette over the top of it now. Then to finish off the look, I added some of the Kiss Lily lashes, and I'm using the Note Volume Active Mascara now to blend my own lashes in with the false ones. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I will catch you all soon.